Alright, Mr. Luis, this is a overview of your S900 dual operator. How to power it up and kind of get going right up to takeoff. As you see, we have two dual operator, two controllers. Your 14SG will be for the operator, and your Futaba 8 Super will be for the camera operator. We have the GH4 and phones and monitor and dual light bridge set up. So first thing you really want to do is just go ahead and power on the copter and your camera. It'll initialize. Well, first thing I recommend to do is when you get it, go ahead and plug into your phone. Because with your phone is the only way that you can manipulate the app. So go into the app, do the settings and things like that for the light bridge. If you hook it into the monitor, it's stuck, so you won't be able to change parameters and things on the monitor. Also, you cannot use both at the same time. Either you use your phone or you use the monitor. And it kind of messes with it if you have both of them plugged in. So either plug the phone in or plug the monitor in. And that is done pretty simply in the back here. So when you're not using the monitor and you're only going to use the phone, just unplug your monitor, the HDMI cable here from the light bridge, and it will send the signal through the phone. That way you can go in and set parameters. So as you see here, the mini HDMI is unplugged from the light bridge. So go ahead and press your light bridge button once and then hold it down. That'll turn on your main unit. And the light will stop blinking once it's connected to the 900. And then go ahead and turn on your slave for the camera operator. And as you see, we don't have the mini HDMI connected. So press once and hold it, and it'll link up. Now we can go in and link up on our phones or your tablet to the Lightbridge app to choose our settings. All my recommended settings are going to already be on here. It's flying great. We're getting great reception, all of that. So your pilot operator is going to have your FPV camera, which is set up top, which is hard mounted to the frame, so you can always tell your pitch and your roll and where you're going. And then go over to our camera operator, open up our Lightbridge app, and we should get our GH4 video here. Now right off the bat, it's set up to start recording once it's hit. And you can go ahead and stop the recording by these buttons here, by your two outside switches that are labeled video, record, and shutter. You have to do both of them to get the video to start and stop. Maybe they'll fix the update later to actually work how it's supposed to, but as of right now, we got to flip both of them. So you can go ahead and turn your video off or just let it record. Now let's go into our app settings. You can change here. Just go into video source, click on video source, and this will give you the HD gimbal, which is the GH4, or the HDMI AV, which is your onboard camera. So choose which one you want to fly from and go, and the same thing over here. So if any one of them are switched, then you're good to go. You can also go in and do any other transmission, your signal diagnostics and video source and other things, but you don't really need to go in here. It's all set up for you. So now once you are done and you want to switch over to your monitor, go ahead and unplug the phone app and you'll lose it. And this is really when it goes into me saying that it won't recognize both the it won't recognize both the phone and the monitor at the same time. So we'll need to go in and now plug in our HDMI mini cable. So go ahead and plug that in. Now you don't need to unplug your phone. That doesn't matter from the light bridge, but you do need to unplug your cable from the phone. So now just press and hold the far left button, which is our power button. And then the second button from the left is our mode. We want to go ahead and press that until we get to HDMI input. And we should now have our video. So now the onboard camera is going through the Mark II OSD. So now we'll have Aero and your GPS and coordinates and satellites and all of that. So here. Okay. So now the next one is our camera pilot we want to go ahead and set up. So go ahead and unplug your phone once again. Get out of there. Go ahead and plug in our HDMI mini cable. And you just loosen this up and fold it down. Plug it in. Tighten your monitor back up. Position it where you want it. And then same thing, let's turn on our monitor here. Just a little side note with the FlySight FPVs. The battery died on the built-in battery. So what's really nice about this one is you can use any 3S battery to power it. It comes with your connectors for your XT90s or a JST plug. So if you ever die in the field, no worries, just grab yourself a 3S battery. Same thing, let's go over to our HDMI input. And now here we will have our gimbal control camera. Okay. So now I have it set up so that the green line will pop up on your camera, so you know when you're level, when the camera's actually level. I like it that way, so you don't have to worry about messing up the video. This will come up with all the light bridge stuff on it as well. You can also take that off in your phone app and just tap it and it'll turn off. Your controls, down is down, up is up, pan left, pan right. If you go to your SD here, flip it to the middle position, it'll automatically point the camera down, and then you'll go all the way down, will be object locked, and all the way up will be semi-lock. Let's go over here, all the way in the back, your switch in the back is your gimbal speed. So away from you is fast, towards you is slow. I recommend to record in the slow version, or your video or the gimbal will just be moving way too fast. And that is pretty much it for your copter control. If you have any other questions, just email me or give me a call and we'll walk through the rest. But as you see, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The only thing you need to remember is only the monitor or the phone will work at once. So if you're going to use the phone, you have to unplug the HDMI cable from the light bridge. If you're going to use the monitor, unplug the phone, the cord from the phone itself. Everything is labeled on your transmitter. So we have GPS, ADI manual, fail-safe, landing gear up and down, your IOC, turn it off, you lose reception, it'll go into fail-safe, fly back home to you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The only other thing you need to look out for is when you're done flying or before you fly, plug in or unplug your trainer cable so the controller will shut off. And that is pretty much it there, Luis. Enjoy the copter. It was a pleasure building this. You know all the issues we did go through on this one, but finally got everything solved and heading your way. Alright, your other question to me was how do we change models from the S900 to the Phantom? And it's pretty simple. Go here, press the link button twice. You'll get into your main menu. Go to Model Select. We're on S900 now. Just go up to Phantom, select, and hold your return button for 1 second, and it'll switch us over to Phantom. And this is how you can tell what mode we're in here. Phantom and S900. So let's do it again. Press your link button twice. Model select. Scroll down to S900. Press return. RTN. Select once and then hold it again. And it'll turn over to your S900. The other issue that you might run into is when we hook the light bridge up, you want to be sure, and it's not hooked up right now, but you want to be sure that little icon right there with the controller is not showing anymore. So once you plug in the light bridge, the trainer port to it, it should disappear. If it does not, then what you want to do is turn your controller off. Turn your controller off, press and hold the return button, turn it on. It'll go into this power mode setting. Just scroll down, turn RF off, and now you see that it's gone. That is pretty much all you need to do with this to switch it back from S900 to Phantom. Okay, so last question you had for me is how are we going to bind the two different light bridge air units to the same unit or to a different unit. What if you want to fly the S900 one time and then come down and fly the Phantom, or flying both off the same controller at different times, or fly one off here, one off here. So that process is pretty simple. If you look down on your light bridge, your far one is a link button. So now what we're going to do is power on our system, the Phantom and the light bridge, power on our ground unit, and we will press the link button, and then once we know that we are linked, our green light here will stop flashing. So let's go ahead and turn on your light bridge there. I don't know if you can see it, but it is now nope, can't see it. But the green light here is flashing. Now currently this light bridge is bound to the S900. So, but we want to fly the Phantom. So let's go ahead and power our Phantom on. I like to turn the camera on first, so we don't put added stress on the gimbal. So it'll go through initialize. Of course, we don't have control right now, we're not hooked up. But let's go ahead and unplug our HDMI cord. Plug our phone back in. Plug our trainer cable in. Let's get our controller on and set up. Okay. Now we are in the S900, so let's go to our servo and let's go to our Phantom. Select. Okay. Now, if you notice, the controller's not on, power's not on, and you have our two controller icons on there. Let's see if we need to turn on the controller, and once you turn the controller on, those two icons will disappear. So now we're okay to be using our light bridge. We will get our control through. So next we want to go back here. As you see, we are blinking green, red there. So basically what it's saying, it's recognizing the light bridge down there, but we're not set up because we've bound this to that light bridge before. So let's go ahead and try to bind it to our light bridge that we currently have on right now. So let's go and touch our link button. Boom. So now we turn to solid green. And now we are showing that we have control through our Phantom. Okay? And let's test control. We have control. So switching back and forth from these units is super easy. You can do it with here, same thing, just bind it. And the same thing goes now if we want to switch back to the S900. Just unplug everything, go right into here, and press your bind button, and you're done. I think that's pretty much it. We should have video. Now I've kind of noticed here, if it connection times out and stuff, just exit out, actually turn the light bridge, power light bridge off, and then power it back on, and then open up our app again. And it likes to connect. So that's one thing I've noticed, like going back and forth from one to the other. Just unpower your light bridge, or if you have any time you're not getting connection through here, it's a good idea to just power off the ground system and go. Just like there, it did connection broken, connection established. Now I am in the house close to a Wi-Fi, so it does mess with our signal a little bit, but once you get outside, you should be good to go. As always, any other questions, give me a call or email. We're always here to help.